You gotta do it.
I don't know why the camera's not. I think we need to revamp the whole system. Okay.
You ready?
We're ready.
All right, we'll resume the meeting. We have Margaret King from Single Source Accounting. Margaret?
Hello, everyone. It's so funny. Recording in progress.
Just talk close into the microphone.
Close to the microphone. It's pretty hard to miss it. As Scott said, I'm Margaret King. I'm the Managing Director of Single Source Accounting, which is a division of Tronconi Segura and Associates. Tronconi Segura is a public accounting firm located in Williamsville, New York, that has been known as Tronconi Segura and Associates for 20 years now. And many of the partners that are still partners at Tronconi Segura were members of the staff even before it was Tronconi Segura. So it's a very long-standing firm in Buffalo. There are offices also in Lockport, which is maybe not quite as far as I came. I'm not sure. It was quite a drive. Linda, I'm impressed that you make that drive so regularly. As you can see from our proposal, we have significant experience in municipality accounting. Andrew Toth, who is one of our partners, pretty much built this practice up as a niche market for the small business department. And included in that department is Sarah Bowser, who is a former New York State auditor. So she has been with our firm, I think around a year now, and she actually went out and did the audits. She's never been involved with the town of Shelby. However, I have seen her in the office working on AFRs for other municipalities. So clearly she is a person that has expertise in this area, knows what the state auditors are really looking for, and will be able to make sure that we get everything the way that it absolutely should be done. And the other thing about Sarah is that she has experience with Williamson Law and has never found it to be a program that didn't work. Obviously, every program has their quirks, but she was always found it to be reliable, and I believe that's the program that currently the town of Shelby is using. So she has experience in using that and would be able to guide us into what we need. Also included in our proposal is a list of references that you can call to check the quality of our work. Again, these are long-standing relationships that these municipalities have had with the firm. They are the town of Ellicottville, the village of Farnham, and the town of Great Valley. Those are only the references, and then besides that, we have several clients that we have had on a long-term basis. The page 4 of the proposal has a whole list in addition to other municipalities that we've done on page 5. As I mentioned, Andrew Toth, who is the partner on this account, has created this pretty much as a niche market for the firm, and he's been involved with it for multiple years. I talked about Sarah, who is our former state auditor. I myself am, as I said, the director of Single Source Accounting. That makes me a principal at Tronconi Segura and Associates. I've worked, I'm kind of the quarterback of this whole engagement. I'm bringing all the team members together, making sure everybody knows what they have to do, and will oversee to make sure that everything is meeting the criteria of the engagement. In addition, we have a couple other people that will be assigned to this account. One is Jason Langendorfer. He actually started the firm, and the very first assignment he had was to do bank reconciliations for multiple pension benefit plans that hadn't been done in quite a long time. So I think that he has quite a bit of experience in that area. He also worked in the Treasury Department and other departments in a concession industry, which I'm sure you're going to guess is Delaware North, and also other industries as well. He's been a great asset to our firm. And then Eva Killian is also listed here. She's actually just finishing up an engagement with Lewiston Porter Central School District, in which she was the interim treasurer. So that again is another municipality, not a town, but still has the fund accounting requirements that the town of Shelby has. The one thing I wanted to mention is that all of our staff in our office are graduates of a four-year degree, have a four-year degree or higher, and many are CPAs. And even if they're not CPAs, every member of our firm is required to have 40 hours of continuing professional education every year to make sure that they stay on top of anything that's changing in the world of accounting. I know it's hard to believe that, accounting is accounting, but they keep making up new rules and we have to follow them. So we make sure that everybody has 40 hours of continuing professional education. Because of the scope of the engagement, you can see that we don't know the number of hours that will be required to reconcile the 11 bank accounts that the town has. So we have different levels of service. You can see there the hourly rates that are listed on the proposal. You had also asked for our last peer review, and that's either a pass or a fail, and we have that attached to the proposal as well, and we did pass. So at this point, I guess I would like to open it up to you to ask any questions you may have.
Thank you, Margaret. Mr. Schiffer, any questions?
Well, could you go into a little bit more detail about dealing with Williamson? You said.
Well, I know that she has audited other towns that have Williamson law, is it that it's called? And she never found that there was a problem with any of the record keeping. You always have to remember that a program is only as good as the people that are using it sometimes. And that whole garbage in, garbage out thing is really a true statement. So you can't get good records and good numbers if you don't put good numbers in. So she found Williamson law to be very workable.
Thank you.
Anything else? You're good? Mr. Syke?
I don't know.
Ms. Lemina?
Margaret, so we have different levels here. Can you give us some understanding of the amount of work that you would expect from like Andy or yourself versus Eva and Jason?
Right. Andy will be only on the engagement as a supervisor, very high level, probably not extremely involved. Only if there would be a question that came up that Sarah didn't happen to know the answer to, I would say. We're not doing an audit, so there would be no audit opinion needed. We're just doing special procedures, so that makes it less of a burden on the partner. Myself, as I said, I'm the quarterback, so to speak. I'm the principal level here, and making sure that everybody is doing what they need to do. If they have questions, I have fund accounting experience myself, and actually did serve as the interim district treasurer for the Clarence Central School District right when I first started at Single Source. And again, oversight, making sure that everybody knows what to do, and if they're answering any questions. Of course, Sarah would be the primary person that would be able to answer questions of a nature that involves the government, the municipality itself. Bank recs are bank recs, and everyone that's on this list that I talked about is certainly capable of performing bank reconciliations. However, it seems as if there's been some issues with them in the past, and it's impossible to know what we're going to come up against. So if there were ever any questions related to municipality law and what's required for a municipality, we would certainly have Sarah right at our disposal. She couldn't come today because she's sitting for a part of the CPA exam, so we're crossing our fingers. So she's very ambitious. Most of the work would be done by the senior or consultant, staffing consultant. So they're going to be here. Jason, that I talked about, is the managing consultant, and they would be here on a regular basis until the job was completed.
You did touch a little bit, and I meant to ask the last presenter, but you did touch a little bit on. Can you maybe go into a little more detail? Two things. I'm not sure how many people know what a peer review is. I'm not sure if the public that's here knows, so maybe explain what that is. And then also the difference between a firm having degreed or CPAs involved or bookkeepers involved.
Right,
in the
right.
project.
Okay, I'll answer those in order. A peer review is something that public accounting firms have on a regular basis. I want to say it's every 3 years. And another firm comes and audits our work. So they pick different engagements that we worked on, and they make sure that all the steps were taken, that whether it's audit or a tax return or any type of work that you're putting an opinion on, they would make sure that all the proper procedures were done. So in essence, they would make sure that the audit programs were complete and that everything was examined as it should be. And so they go through several clients of ours, the work that was done over that last 3-year period, and make sure that we are complying with the rules that have been established by the AICPA, which is the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. So that's a high standard. And this kind of goes into your other question. When you're a CPA, you're licensed by New York State. In order to become licensed, you have to not only meet a requirement for a certain number of hours in college, which used to be a bachelor's degree and now is actually partially towards a master's degree. And you also have to sit for that CPA exam that I kind of talked about that Sarah was taking today. Several parts that test your knowledge about every aspect of accounting. It's even more in depth now than when I took my exam many years ago. They include taxes, but they also include reporting. They include law, contract law, and they also include different specialty types of accounting, which would be fund accounting. Different hospital accounting is different. College and university accounting is different. I know it's hard to imagine that there are all those different kinds of accounting, but there are to make sure that everything is recorded correctly, and that when the readers of those financial statements are looking at them, they know what they're reading. So that's so the peer review makes sure that we are doing our job, and we've always had passing grades for the peer review. And then also with all the CPAs at the firm, if someone, for instance, well, just like we're talking about municipal accounting, we have Andy who's an expert, and we have Sarah who's an expert. So there wouldn't be any problem if we ran into any trouble, because we have other experts on the firm. Everyone works together as a team.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ed, you have any questions?
No, she pretty much answered everything. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I meant to ask this to the other firm too. So what is your timing to be able to start a project?
Well, we would be able to start as soon as we got word that we were engaged. Well, there's an engagement letter that would have to be signed, but other than that, we would be able to start right away.
Thank you, Margaret. It was enlightening.
It was enlightening, good, I'm glad to hear that. Do you ask for questions from anybody else?
No, there's no.
Okay, all right, I didn't know.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Did Jimmy? No, my husband came. You had him sleeping. My husband went to church and he sleeps.
Recording at sunset.
He can hear more.
All right.
And he's sleeping.
Kathy, did you have anything?
Oh, wait a minute, Margaret. Oh, we didn't ask the attorney if she
Yeah.
had any questions. Oh,
Kathy, did you have any questions?
Yeah, hold on a sec, let me turn the recording back on, just a couple.
Recording in progress.
Sorry, Margaret.
So yeah, just quickly, you mentioned that, Sarah was a former auditor and with the state comptroller's office, and she knows what the auditor's office is looking for. So, you know, I guess, like, you know, the situation that we're in here, is that some communication you would do? Would we do the communication with the auditor's office? Would you communicate with Williamson? Would you expect us to do it?
Well, I think it would depend on what we ran into. Usually, the client would be able to help us with anything that we needed, but obviously that doesn't seem to be available right now with because I know that you're having problems with Williamson Law. I do believe that she has contacts that she could call if needed to get more additional information about Williamson Law or what needs to be done in order to, you know, make it sit up and spin, so to speak. And as far as, I don't believe that we would have any contact with the New York State auditors that unless we needed to, unless we needed some clarification or something. But, you know, that's really a relationship between you and the auditors that did the work. So we're just really independent and just going to go ahead and do what we can do to get things straightened around.
And do you have, you know, have you worked with other clients that have similar problems? If, you know, so, is it one, is it more than one? Just trying to.
Oh, trust me, we worked with a lot of clients that have this similar problem. I told you that Jason actually started, I can't tell you how many years there were that they were working on, and they were employee benefit plans, and I think it was a plan administrator that was losing the business and passing it over to another plan administrator. So they had so many accounts that they were looking at, and they were so messed up that I think that we're, you know, plus he did that work, type of work at Delaware North besides, which is, you know, obviously a very big company, tons of experience in doing hard bank reconciliations. And believe it or not, people don't always reconcile their bank account. I don't know why. You should do that. It's very important. Make sure that your balance matches as the bank, because people could put things through there and you would not even know it.
Anything else, Kathy?
No, that's it, I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Am I really done now?
We're-
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Margaret. You have a
Thank you
good
very
night.
much. Thank you.
Drive safe.
Thank you.
You have anything else for the meeting, Kathy?
Recording stopped.
No, nothing else.
Okay. Can I get a motion to close the meeting?
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone.
You know, that's wonderful to be that tired. Yes, I do it at the conferences sometimes, but it's surprising. You can learn. You're listening, even though your eyes are closed. You are listening. That could be your deepest listening mode right there.
What?
With her sleeping with her eyes closed, that could be a very. That I'm just gonna say, that happens. My husband, we go to church. He sits there with his eyes, but you know what? You wake him up and say, "Well, you didn't learn nothing in church today, did you?" And he can tell you everything that they talked about.
Oh yeah, she was. She does all the time when we video call. I think she sleeps. But no, I'm listening to you.
They have their best mode of
A lot
thinking
of people
right then.
think she's sleeping, but she's not sleeping.
You know, well, she because she asked a couple questions, so you know she wasn't sleeping.
Yeah, no, she listened to the whole thing.
Oh, I gotta take my. No.
Shall we come over and get some?
When we going?
I don't know.
Because what time does it start?
7?
I don't care. I thought we were going from here, but I gotta shut down just a second. Shut
We can go
down.
from here.
I gotta go get something to eat.
I gotta go take my husband home first.
Oh, the exception break on break.
I'll come back and pick you up.
Where's John?
I gotta take him home.
No, let him drive home. You stay with me, and we'll just go from here.
I gotta pick up Fiona.
I don't know if she's where I want to go.
Well, she said to me that, she said, are you gonna go? And I said, yeah. I said, I'm going. And she goes, well, you didn't tell me. I said, well, do I tell you everything?